A flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. Think about that. Have you ever seen a rose jealous of a sunflower? Have you ever seen the moon compare itself to the stars? Then why do you, a masterpiece, created uniquely, waste your power trying to be someone else? Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked at someone else's life and felt small? Have you ever scrolled through your phone, seen someone's perfect smile, beautiful house, or fast success, and suddenly, your own life felt like it wasn't enough? You're not alone. But here's the truth you've probably forgotten. Your journey is not supposed to look like anyone else's. You were never created to copy. You were created to become. Today, I want you to hear this with every beat of your heart. Stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You are enough. You are capable. And you are becoming even when it feels like you're behind. This message is not just for the broken, the overlooked, the rejected, or the insecure. This is for all of us because we've all battled the dangerous voice of comparison. And today we silence it. Today we take back our peace, our purpose, and our power. Number one truth about comparison. Comparison is a silent killer. It doesn't shout. It whispers lies in your ears. You're not good enough. You're too slow. You'll never be like them. But here's the truth. You were not born to be a copy. You were born to be an original. And no matter how hard you try, you will never win the race meant for someone else. Comparison is the thief of joy and peace and purpose. Comparison turns focus into frustration. You were born with something beautiful, something sacred, your own lane. But comparison forces you to abandon your lane and look at someone else's race. And here's the problem with that. You lose momentum when you shift your eyes sideways. Imagine two people in a race. They're side by side, running strong. But one starts to look left and right. The moment they do, they slow down. Because you can't run forward if you're always looking sideways. That's what we do every day. We compare bodies on Instagram. We compare careers on LinkedIn. We compare relationships on WhatsApp statuses. We compare families, weddings, houses, cars, friends, church callings, everything. And do you know what it leaves us with? Anxiety, bitterness, discontent. You begin to measure your worth by someone else's success. And that's a dangerous place to live. Everyone has a different starting line. A major reason comparison is so harmful is that it makes you forget that everyone begins life at a different starting line. Some people start with wealthy parents, private school education, stable homes, and loving support. Others start with abuse, poverty, illness, trauma. So when you compare your journey with someone else's success, you ignore the context of your life. That person didn't get there faster. They just started in a different place. Imagine judging a fish by how well it can climb a tree. Imagine judging a mango for not ripening in the same season as an orange. You'd call that unfair. So why do we do it to ourselves? Your value is not in the mirror of others. There's a little boy named Timmy. Timmy is quiet, shy, and slow to speak. His classmates often laugh when he tries to read. One day, a teacher calls him dull. That word sticks like a thorn in his soul. But what they didn't know was that Timmy could look at a broken radio and fix it in 15 minutes. Something his classmates couldn't even imagine doing. You see, if Timmy had judged himself by how quickly his classmates spoke, he would have given up. But when he stopped comparing, he discovered his brilliance. What about you? What gift are you ignoring because someone else shines in a different way? What if your true strength is not loud but deep? Success is not a one-size-fits-all journey. Some people marry at 25, others at 45. Some become CEOs in their 30s. Others start companies at 60. Some give birth early. Others adopt. Some shine in school. Others bloom in business. Life is not a race. Life is a rhythm. Each of us has a divine timing, and comparison robs us of the patience to wait for it. Just because your miracle hasn't come yet doesn't mean it never will. If you're still alive, you're still becoming. The comparison game is rigged. You lose either way. Let's be honest. When we compare ourselves, we're either looking down on others and becoming prideful, or feeling less than others and becoming insecure. Neither option helps us grow. Comparison can make you feel too big or too small, but it never helps you feel just right. And that's what we all deserve, to feel just right in our own skin, to wake up, look in the mirror and say, I may not be like anyone else, and that's exactly the point. Number 2, you are running your own race. Stay in your lane. Your lane has grace. Let's begin with an image. Imagine a large Olympic stadium. The track is full of elite runners, ready to go. The gun goes off, boom, and the runners burst forward. But one of them, halfway through, starts looking sideways. He sees the runner beside him gaining speed and thinks, maybe I should move faster. Maybe I'm not doing enough. So he panics. His steps become uneven. His focus shifts. And soon he trips, not because he wasn't fast enough, but because he lost his lane. That's exactly what many of us do every single day. We start strong in our own journey, but once we see someone else doing something better, faster, shinier, we panic. We think we're behind. We lose focus. We shift direction. And then we fall, not because we aren't capable, but because we left our lane. Your race, your grace, your timing. Each one of us has a unique path. You were born with a unique fingerprint, a sign that you are unrepeatable. Your voice, your gifts, your wounds, your dreams are not an accident. Your background may be hard, your process may be slow, but your lane has grace. What does that mean? It means you are graced for what you are meant to do, not what others are doing. You were not designed to carry their load. You were designed to carry your own, and with it comes strength, joy, peace, and purpose. The pain of living outside your purpose. Do you know what hurts more than failure? Living a life that's not yours. You can have money, fame, friends, and still feel lost if you're not doing what you were born to do. And comparison will rob you of that purpose every time. It will whisper, she's a better singer, so why try? He's already doing what you love, so what's the point? People like his work better. You're too old to start now. You're too slow, too late, too behind. Lies. Let me repeat this to your heart. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time for your race. Let me tell you a story of a woman. The woman who started at 60. Let me tell you about Madame Lucy. She spent most of her life raising children. She gave everything to her family, never finishing school or working outside the home. At 60, her last child graduated university. She looked around and said, "What now?" For the first time in her life, she thought of her childhood dream, to be a seamstress. She enrolled in a local training center. People laughed, "Madam, go and rest." But she didn't listen. By 63, she was sewing better than people half her age. At 65, she opened a small fashion shop. Today, at 70, she's training young girls and women across the region in tailoring, paying their school fees, and giving scholarships. She didn't start early, but she started fully, and that's what matters. You don't need to be the best. Just be you. The world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs the full version of you. Think about music. Some people are jazz, others are Afrobeat, some are worship, some are rap, some are country, some are silence with soul. Why would you spend your life trying to be someone else's sound, when your sound was made to move the world in a way only you can? Pace yourself. This is not a sprint. You've probably heard this before, but it's worth repeating. Life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. If you run too fast trying to keep up with people who aren't even going in your direction, you will burn out. That's what happens to people who live in comparison. They force results. They chase approval. They copy others. They ignore their own heart. And one day they wake up empty. But the one who runs their race, they may be slower, quieter, and less noticed, but they are consistent. And consistency always wins over time. Comparison creates speed anxiety. Have you ever heard of speed anxiety? It's that feeling you get when you feel like you're falling behind, even when you're making progress. It comes when you see your classmate becoming a manager while you're still job hunting. Your friend buying a house while you're still renting. Your cousin getting married while your last relationship ended in tears. Suddenly, you feel like life is passing you by. But here's the truth. Just because someone else arrived earlier doesn't mean you won't arrive. If you're heading to the airport and your friend is heading to the bus station, why should their arrival time bother you? You're not going to the same place. Stay in your lane. That's where the grace is. You've probably seen this on social media. Stay in your lane. But it's more than a catchy phrase. It's a spiritual strategy. Because every lane has a different terrain, a different speed limit, a different goal. If you leave your lane, you leave your grace. Your grace, the power to endure, to succeed, to flourish, is tied to your purpose, not someone else's. You will never have peace outside your assignment. You will never find joy trying to live someone else's dream. You will never flourish trying to copy someone else's formula. What happens when you stop comparing? When you stop comparing, everything changes. You become free to grow at your own pace. You stop living for approval. You discover your voice. You begin to enjoy your life again. You start being present, not perfect. You begin to realize that life is not about being first, but about being faithful. How to know you're running the wrong race? Here are signs you're out of your lane. You feel pressure, not passion. You're exhausted, but not fulfilled. You crave applause more than alignment. You care more about being seen than being true to yourself. You feel threatened by others' success. You secretly hope others fail so you can feel better. You compare constantly. You can't enjoy your journey without peeking into someone else's. If any of these sound familiar, take a breath. You're not a failure. You're just misaligned. But the good news? You can get back into your lane. Affirmation break. Speak this over yourself. Let's pause and say this aloud, or whisper if you must. I release every comparison I've made. I take my eyes off others and put them back on my journey. I honor my own lane, timing, and calling. I trust that what's meant for me is already on the way. I will not rush. I will not compete. I will not copy. I will just become. Say it again if you need to. Say it every morning. Let your soul remember that you were never meant to live anyone else's story. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Your lane is unique. Stay in it. The world needs your voice, not your imitation. You are not behind. You are becoming. Comparison causes you to lose pace, purpose, and peace. You are graced to run your race and nobody else's. Number 3. The hidden cost of comparing. Comparison doesn't just steal joy. It steals you. There is something dangerous about comparison that we don't often talk about. We say it steals joy, and yes, it does. But it steals much more than that. Quietly robs your identity, your peace, your energy, your confidence, your relationships, and worst of all, your sense of purpose. Let's unpack how, piece by piece. 1. It silently attacks your mental health. Comparison can seem small at first. A little glance, a small "why not me?" But over time, those small thoughts pile up into mental battles. Symptoms of comparison-based mental exhaustion. You wake up feeling already behind. You scroll through social media and suddenly feel unworthy. You replay other people's wins and your own failures. You feel anxious in groups where others are doing better. You feel like you're not good enough. No matter what you achieve, before you know it, comparison becomes chronic, turns into anxiety, low self-esteem, envy, depression, even burnout, because you're always trying to catch up with people who aren't even running your race. Let me tell you a real story. The girl who almost quit her dreams. Nicole was a gifted writer. Her words moved people to tears. Teachers praised her. Friends shared her blog. She knew she was walking in purpose until she found another writer online. A girl her age, already published, with a massive following and flawless posts. That's when the voice of comparison started. She's way better than you. Look at her success. You're wasting time. Nobody will read you now. Nicole stopped writing. She didn't run out of talent. She ran out of belief. That's what comparison does. Kills the courage to try. 2. It turns growth into competition. There is a difference between inspiration and intimidation. Inspiration says, if they can do it, so can I. Intimidation says, They've done it, so I can't. Inspiration is healthy. It lights your fire. It gives you vision. But when inspiration turns to comparison, it becomes toxic. You stop growing because you feel like there's no point. Imagine if Moses refused to lead because Joshua was younger. Deborah stopped judging because Barak had a sword. David refused to fight Goliath because Saul had a bigger army. If you always need to be ahead to feel worthy, then someone else's win will always feel like your loss. 3. It breeds insecurity in relationships. Comparison doesn't just affect how you feel about yourself. It affects how you treat others. Here's how. You begin to resent friends who are winning. You secretly celebrate their failures because it makes you feel better. You stop reaching out because you feel inferior. You don't open up because you fear being judged. Suddenly, you're no longer just comparing, you're isolating. You start shrinking, avoiding, resenting. And this leads to loneliness, not because people have rejected you, but because you've rejected yourself in their presence. 4. It makes you chase what you don't even want. One of the sneakiest costs of comparison is that it makes you chase things that were never yours to chase. You begin to start businesses because someone else did, not because you're called. Get married because your friends did, not because you're ready. Buy things to impress people who don't even care. Build a life that looks successful but feels empty. Imagine running hard in the wrong direction for 10 years, only to realize you were climbing the wrong ladder. That's the price of comparison. It trades authentic joy for artificial achievement. 5. It blinds you to your own blessings. When you compare, you stop seeing what's already good in your life. You miss the beauty of your home because you're staring at someone else's mansion. You overlook your loving partner because someone else's relationship looks more romantic. You ignore your own healing because their miracle looks more dramatic. Comparison blinds you. It makes you believe that what you have is not enough, and what they have is always better. But the truth is, someone wishes for your life the way you're wishing for someone else's. 6. It delays your destiny. There are people who are 10 years behind their purpose, not because they're lazy, but because they've been busy chasing what isn't theirs. Every time you chase someone else's dream, you delay your own. You were born with a seed, but if you plant it in someone else's soil, it won't grow. If you try to mimic someone else's sun and rain, you'll rot from the inside out. There is something that only you were designed to do. Comparison will keep you busy, but not effective. 7. It leads to bitterness and regret. Bitterness often starts with unhealed comparison. You say things like, "Why do they always win? When is it my turn? God forgot me. People like them better." Those statements aren't facts. They're wounds. And if those wounds aren't healed, they harden. And when your heart hardens, you no longer rejoice, even at your own success. You become numb. Some people aren't tired because of hard work. They're tired from pretending to be okay with losing a race they were never built to run. How to break free from the trap. A. Recognize it early. Comparison often begins in silence, in thoughts. Learn to catch it when it starts. I feel small when I see this. Why? B. Limit unhealthy exposure. Unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel like you're failing. Protect your mind. C. Practice gratitude out loud. Say what you're thankful for every day, especially on days you feel behind. D. Recenter your purpose. Ask, what matters to me? Not them, me. Write it. Pray over it. Live from it. E. Celebrate others genuinely. When you clap for others, you train your heart to live free from envy. Let's say this again, slowly and with power. I will not chase someone else's dream. I will not trade my peace for their praise. I will walk in purpose, even when it's quiet. My life is mine, and that's enough. Let's take a breath and reflect. Comparison doesn't just steal joy. It attacks identity, peace, and purpose. It leads to anxiety, burnout, broken friendships, and regret. It makes you chase what you don't need and miss what you already have. The cure? Gratitude, purpose, honesty, and choosing to believe you are enough. Number 4. Celebrating others without shrinking yourself. Someone else's light doesn't dim yours. Have you ever felt that tightness in your chest when a friend shares good news? They got the job. They got the engagement ring. They reached 100K followers. They launched a business and it's already booming. And suddenly, your own life feels a little smaller. You smile. You say, "Congrats." You clap. But deep inside, there's a quiet ache. Not hatred, but heaviness. It's not that you don't want them to win. It's just, you wish you were winning too. Let's be honest. It's hard to celebrate others when you feel stuck. But here's the truth, and it's a hard truth. If you can't clap for someone else's breakthrough, you're not ready for your own. Why? Because envy repels what gratitude attracts. The lie. Their win is your loss. Comparison plants this lie deep in your mind. If they shine, I must fade. But that's not how purpose works. This isn't a zero-sum game. It's not a pie with limited slices. Your friend's blessing isn't blocking yours. Their speed isn't your delay. Their success is not a punishment to you. It's a reminder that God is still blessing people. And if He can bless them, He can and will bless you. The truth. We all have our turn. A mango doesn't ripen at the same time as a pineapple. The sun doesn't shine at the same time as the moon. But both serve a powerful purpose and both are necessary. So what if your friend is in their summer? That doesn't mean you're failing, it just means you're still growing. Your time will come. But here's the key. How you handle someone else's success is often a test of how ready you are for your own. Can you celebrate now? Can you be genuinely happy, even while you wait? Why we struggle to clap for others. Let's break down the emotional roots of envy. Scarcity thinking. There's not enough for everyone. Low self-worth. I'm not good enough to have what they have. Fear of delay. What if I never get my turn? But all of these are lies rooted in fear. And fear cannot coexist with purpose. To celebrate others well, you need to change the lens through which you see success. Instead of asking, "Why not me?" start asking, "What can I learn from this? What does this moment reveal about what I desire? How can I grow, prepare, or pivot?" Genuine celebration doesn't make you smaller. It makes you bigger when you clap for others. Your spirit becomes lighter. Your relationships become deeper. Your heart becomes freer. And your time comes sooner because you're no longer bound by resentment. Think of it this way. Clapping for others is an investment in your own joy. And joy is fertile ground for purpose. But what if they don't deserve it? Maybe you're thinking, "She's proud. He cheated his way there. They're not even kind." Fair. But this is where emotional maturity kicks in. You're not clapping for them because they're perfect. You're clapping because you've chosen not to carry bitterness. Their flaws don't justify your pain. Their pride shouldn't produce your poison. Release them. Celebrate them, if not for who they are, then for who you are becoming. How to genuinely celebrate others without envy. Here are 5 practical steps. 1. Name what you feel. Without shame, say to yourself, "I feel jealous. I feel left out. I feel small." It's okay. Emotions don't make you bad. They make you human. But once you name them, they lose their power. 2. Take the focus off the person and back to purpose. Ask, "Why does this trigger me?" Maybe their achievement reminds you of your own delay. Use that as a mirror, not a weapon. Let it lead you back to your goals. 3. Speak a blessing over them. Even if it's hard, say it. "I bless them. I pray they flourish. I will not allow envy to dwell in me." You don't say this because you feel like it. You say it until your feelings submit to your freedom. 4. Shift your environment. If social media makes you bitter, mute some feeds. If certain conversations feed envy, change the topic. Guard your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. 5. Celebrate yourself in small ways. Clap for your own growth. Celebrate small wins, progress, effort, healing. Because when you build joy internally, someone else's victory won't threaten you. Declare it over yourself. Say this: "I am not intimidated by someone else's light. I am not too late. I am on time. What's mine is coming, and I will be ready. Until then, I will cheer, clap, and celebrate without shrinking. Say it again if you need to. Let it sit deep in your chest. Their success is not your failure. Jealousy reveals where you need healing, not who you need to hate. Clapping for others sets you free from bitterness. What you celebrate, you attract. You don't lose your voice by celebrating someone else's. You just tune it to love. Your only competition is you. Let me leave you with this. There will always be someone ahead of you. There will always be someone behind. But if you waste your life looking sideways, you will never move forward. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the robber of destiny. It distracts you from your unique path, paralyzes your progress, and it leaves you feeling like you are not enough. But the truth is, you are more than enough. You were never meant to walk someone else's road. You were meant to walk your own, to grow in your own season, to bloom in your own time, to live a life that only you can live. So don't compare, don't shrink, don't copy, don't compete, just become. Become the best version of yourself. Measure your progress by your own potential. Celebrate your small wins. Embrace your imperfections. And trust that everything you need to become who you are meant to be is already inside you. Every time you compare, you undermine your greatness. Every time you focus on your lane, you multiply it. Remember this, even the moon has scars and it still lights up the whole sky. You are light. Shine in your own way. If this speech spoke to you, if it opened your eyes, encouraged your heart, or reminded you of your worth, please don't leave without subscribing. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of people who are done comparing and ready to start becoming. Every week, we share motivational talks, life-changing truths, and stories that inspire. This is a safe space for growth, healing, and purpose. Your journey matters, and we want to walk it with you. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Let's grow together. One honest word at a time. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are becoming. See you in the next video. Stay grounded. Stay growing. Stay true.